Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Saramonsuki in my all-powerful anime form. You best be behaving. So, if you've no doubt seen, or if you haven't known already, my favorite video game genre is RPGs. I have played them for a long time now. But as technology and time advances on, some RPGs of the past get, left over there until they're re-released and brought forward on modern system. Yay! Some are just simple ports, just literally the identical game, just moved. Remasters, where the game is sort of made to look nicer, and remake, which speaks for itself. But I want to see the games that bring forward extra goodies. Like new bosses, new story, gameplay, refinements, that kind of thing. So here we go. This will be my list of my top 8 re-released RPGs. The more new, not necessarily better looking, the better. Also, if you have the time, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Otherwise, let's begin. Starting with number 8, Final Fantasy IV on the Nintendo DS. Now, I didn't play the original FF4. It was a popular older RPG from the SNES era. But I did play this game. Final Fantasy IV, to my knowledge, on the DS is the oldest remake I've played on a handheld. It is, from what I've been told, a full one-to-one remake of FF4 with 3D graphics and voice acting. The game plays unusually well for the system it's on. Battles are nice and smooth, they're well animated, and the voice acting is also unusually good. Although not much was added from what I got told besides gameplay refinements, to have this fully remade game with 3D models, the good story, and gameplay released on the go definitely deserves some spot on this list. Side note, there were two more re releases of this game. There was one on the PSP that had a sequel story called The After Story or The After Years. But from what I know, it wasn't too good. And Square Enix did a pixel remaster of the original game. So the choices are there. Number 7, Persona 4 Golden. Persona as a series didn't really take off until Persona 4, but by Jove, that game really left its mark. Persona 4 is a strong and truly excellent PS2 RPG. So to hear about this hands port for the Vita, sign me up. Persona 4 Golden brought with it changes that truly enhanced experience, especially on the story side. Golden added new anime cutscenes to help the story, new writing to carry it along, a couple new voice actors to help the roles better, an entire new winter segment. Yes, they didn't have one before with extra things to do, but the actual new gameplay things were kind of hidden. You can now farm social ties for Dachi, a detective you meet in the game, and there was a new girl, Marie. But unless you went out of your way, Dachi especially being awkward to find, the new content might not even show. Also, I'm super happy that Persona 4 Golden will soon be released on more modern hardware in the form of Switch, PS4, and Xbox. It was re-released on Steam, but yeah, my Switch is ready to bring it home. Number 6, Odin Sphere Le Frasa. No idea if I said the name correct, no one's pronounced it. Odin Sphere is a PS2 hack and slash RPG, well, sort of, with it had RPG elements anyway. They control 5 different characters, all in a war inspired by Norse mythology over a grand power called the Crystal Cauldron, a big cauldron that produces infinite power, blah blah blah. The game stood out, well, from its peers for its hand drawn art style, but JRPGs back then were kind of a niche thing. Until Le Frasa came out on the PS4. For a start, this game looks gorgeous, really emphasizing and bringing home its hand drawn art style. Text was easier to see, and the animations were better stylized or emphasized. The story was kept the same, but the gameplay was modernized, completely overhauling how you fight and grow up. You execute moves more easily, RPG elements are better laid out, with better explained skill trees, or better laid out ones, better, smoother combat, new enemies and challenges. So, yeah, worth of time. Also, fun fact, Compared to most releases, this game actually holds the option to let you play the original version of the game before its edits and revisions untouched for the true nostalgia. Good luck seeing that anywhere else. Number 5, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Tales of Vesperia stood out as a truly excellent RPG on the Xbox 360. Heck, I'm not gonna lie, I bought the console and cheap just to play this game. It had a mature storyline with good characters, decent gameplay, and stupidly good looking graphics. Sadly, as time progressed, this title, as well as its PS3 siblings, Exilia, Graces, and so on, they remained locked on their systems until Vesperia came out of nowhere to modern platforms. Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition, came with two, or be pedantic, 1.5 characters, new characters to use in Patty, an entirely new girl, a young girl pirate, and Flynn, a knight and rival to the main hero. Flynn is in the game, or was in the base game, but he was just there as someone to interact with. But here is fully playable and customizable. The entire game is now voiced, there were more special moves added, and has a wealth of post game content. By rights, this game should be a little lower, but I was just happy to see this game revived for modern systems to play. It's really good. Number 4, Atelier Shelley Plus. Now, this is the only real niche game on my list. This is a re-release of the PS3 RPG called Atelier Shelley, Alchemists of the Dusk Sea. Released on originally the PS3 and then brought forward to the Vita. It was a port that brought with it new content. The game is the third of a trilogy and brought back the main heroes of past games as fully playable characters, expanding the cast to a nice good number. It had more dialogue, some gameplay options that were added, new challenging hard bosses, oh god. And all in all, it's just a good game to play on the go. You do have to play the previous titles, but this one gets a thumbs up. Also, it was ported to the Steam, PS4, and Switch, so it's even more easier to play now. Number 3, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age S. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age was originally released on PS4 to some decent acclaim, with the drawbacks being the synthesized artificial music, some gaps in the story, and just a few niggling things. Introducing the S Definitive Edition, which fixed all the niggles and came with all sorts of new additions. There was now extra story content to get rid of those little gaps I mentioned, and your party members were now fully visible at all times. The music is lovingly fully orchestrated, and all characters are customizable in the costume department too. You could travel more easily, you could summon your horse more easily that you couldn't do in the original game. You had both English and Japanese dubs, and one big addition, 2D mode. They introduced an entire new place called Tickington, where you take on quests from previous Dragon Quest games in an 8-bit style. Heck, you could play the entire game in an 8-bit style, since from what I've been told, it was originally a 3DS game. So there's options aplenty. I definitely recommend a playthrough. It's a good time. It was also brought forward. It was originally released on Switch and then brought forward for modern day platforms. So I'll give it a go. Number 2, Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix. Strictly speaking, this is a combo combining two re-release games in one package. But, yeah, whatever. This combines the Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep Final Mix editions, released in the West for the first time on modern day hardware. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix had the most added, with extra main story cutscenes, new bosses to fight, new powers, new challenges to take on, collectibles to hunt. Heck, this remix that blended the both added new cutscenes weren't even in the game. To help explain it better, Kingdom Hearts 1, Birth by Sleep, and 2 were given enhanced re-releases in the Japanese, but the games were landlocked to that region until they brought over here. Birth by Sleep didn't change the main game itself. It just added new bosses, but it had an entire new story segment to the end. This was an excellent combo of re-releases in a quite affordable package, bringing them together on a single console. I mean, just look it up. You have games released on the PS2, PS3, DS, 3DS, PSP. It was a mess. Heck, if you want to, buy the 1.5 and 2.5 remix combo pack. You won't regret it. Now, before I go to number one, I'd like to give an honorable mention to the Mass Effect trilogy. The Mass Effect trilogy is known as a truly wonderful series of games to some degree, with Mass Effect 2 as one of my top 10 games of all time. And Mass Effect 1 was brought to the PlayStation for the very first time and allowed a playthrough of a female hero. You couldn't do that originally. It's rough, really. It's the first game, but it's worth at least one playthrough. While ME2 and ME3 had their DLCs added, and Mass Effect 3 even had new story added. Heck, if you want to skip the rough Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2 has a comic in the intro letting you see the story and make the choices you would have done. So all three games in one place. You can sort of skip the first if you don't like it, play the excellent second and third game, minus its ending. Win, win, win. And with that, we move on to number one, Persona 5 Royal. I'm a bit biased with this pick, but Persona 5 Royal added improvements I didn't even know I needed. Persona 5 is my all-time favorite game, though it did have a few niggling issues. Persona 5 Royal fixes every issue, adds new things, disguises useless things, and it is a game I needed badly. Persona 5 Royal, released at first exclusively for the PS4, adds two new characters in Kasumi, a gymnast, and Maruki, a counselor. Though subtle, they blend in seamlessly in the story and add some surprising content if you choose to invest. If you do, an entirely new story segment appears. Although I won't say what it involves, you'll have to play it yourself. Not only that, but new little touches I didn't even notice until like I saw comparisons were added in cutscenes. There were like a few little lines of dialogue, new animations added. There were even entire new cutscenes in the main story, new side activities you could do. You could like play darts, bowling, snooker, build little partnerships with characters you couldn't do before. It just, I don't know, it just added things that even no needed adding. The gameplay on the core level didn't really need changing, but everything else was edited for the better. Fast travel was much easier now. Your cat partner friend, Morgana, can help you track side quests better. Battles are now smoother, with optional mechanics now permanent, which in the base game rendered new party members kinda useless. You have new special moves and abilities, and the level layouts are altered to be better and more fun, with useless fluff cut out. Heck, the bosses, the main bosses of the dungeons, that as a player I was used to by now, fought much differently, really throwing me off my game. The one niggle of the game, the Mementos area, which was sort of a plain dungeon crawler by comparison, was given edits to make it much less boring. Thanks to a new NPC, meet the dungeon collect little items that allowed you to alter the money you gained in the Mementos dungeon, alter the XP gain, and it just made it smoother. This game is definitely worth a play, and come October, Persona 5 Royal will be available on Switch. Yes, on Switch, the Xbox, and PS5. So like, if you like RPGs, go get it. Go pre-order it. Go to your nearest GameStop, game store, whatever. Pre-order it. Go. After you finish this video, sorry. And thank you. And there we go. So, what did you think? Are there any re-releases of games you think should be mentioned or should be removed? Do you agree or disagree with any of these games that I've mentioned? Tell me in the comments below. Comments below, not comics. I'm interested to hear what you think. Otherwise, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like, subscribe for more content, hit that bell so you don't miss anything from me. I'm also on Twitter and Twitch with the links below. Be happy to see you. Otherwise, please stay safe, have fun, and may you have a good day. See you very soon, my friends. Look after yourself, or I'm coming for you.